Old is very subjective. Certain people think 25 years old is already old, maybe because they started, do some things at age of 16. Certain people think 60 is still young. Okay, so you define yourself. But for an older person who want to start Surfskate, this is a few things that I know. Okay, but how, rather than just think of I can't. If you think you can't, then no point of watching the video. But if you want to know how, so this is what we will talk about. Okay, so the first one will be mobility. The second one will be slow response, and then slow recovery if you have any injury, and flexibility, or maybe overthink. Before it happens, you'll be thinking too much. Okay, we go one by one. Yeah, the first one will be overthink. Is it a bad thing? It's actually not. Because of the above, mobility, slow response, everything, your body you know better than other people that you got to think more before you do. That's normal. So you can see in a skate park or in surfing, the kids just drop in, and I can't. Take me months to do that. Okay, so overthink is not a bad thing because you already know your situation. So don't let this pull you back. It is okay to overthink. We all overthink because you can imagine what happened already. That's how you want to do your Surfskate a little bit different from when you are young. Young is very subjective. Maybe 12 years old is young, 6 years old is young. You see them fall, they don't really care about anything. Okay, so overthink is not really a bad thing. Talk about technical part, the mobility. Why do you lose your mobility when you get older? So first of all, you need to understand why is your mobility reducing. Maybe because of the joint. The joint, as you get older, actually the cushion, that means the disc in between the joint will get thinner. But more importantly is because of the less movement for years, the muscle that around the joint is shortened. When it's shortened, they restrict your movement. So a lot of people will have this problem when they get older. They have a mobility problem. Okay, but if you move more, eventually the mobility will come back for sure. So when you do your surf skating, don't just fix there, fix there and then just go. Be a bit mobile. Do the low high profile that I always recommend, because that is almost the foundation of the stability and also the mobility of surf skating and surfing actually. Okay, so do that more. It's not stable. Just get used to it, because if you keep on getting used to stiff position, you won't go anywhere anyway. Okay, the second is slow response. Yes, response certainly will get slower as you age. Okay, so how are you going to encounter this? Always take an initiative method rather than responding method. Okay, in my past video I talked about initiation and response. I think there's a surfing video, sorry. Okay, so response means that something happened that your body had to respond to it. No, certainly when you get older you don't have that. You still have that ability, but not as strong anymore. But then you should be better at initiating. For example, I talk about compress and extend. The extend is an initiation. You can choose to extend anytime you like. Compress, extend. When you extend, actually you are moving the board to the direction you want it to go. For example, when you compress, when you extend, you do a snap. When you compress, you extend, then you do a going higher ground for the force. Those are we call initiative. You initiate the move. So because you initiate the move, you are not responding to it. Basically, you already know what will happen next. So for an older generation, when you do surf skating, you should practice this more. Means that you know what is next rather than you respond to what is next. I'm not saying that you take away the response. What I mean is that we already know the response is slower. So why don't we put more effort into initiate? How to initiate? There's many methods. Yeah. So the high-low profile is just one of them. Okay. And then we talk about the slow recovery. For sure, you get any scratch, you got any cut, the recovery is slower. Moreover, when you injured your shoulder when you fall. Okay, so try a low profile. Why? Because when you do a low profile, you're very close to the floor already. Whatever falling, you should fall when you are having a slow motion, rather than you got steady, you're so confident, you go fast and you fall. No, we can't recover from those anymore. So start from really slow. really slow, and then get used to the falling, get used to the reaction, because that will actually condition your body how to take the impact. And you found that even slow you can't take the impact, then don't try. What's the point? Because you don't want to have those kind of injury. Head down, it's not really a fun thing, even for a younger generation. Okay, so always when you know that you have a slow recovery already, you should learn even more how to fall, and also of course all the protective gear, because I felt a lot. I know that it actually normally when it's not an extreme condition, it is always on that same area of your body that got scratch or anything. I'm not talking about big impact. Yeah? No, try to avoid big impact. You're young or you're old, avoid big impact. Okay, if you're not confident, don't go for it. That's for sure. Okay, and then your flexibility. So that's what I said earlier. Flexibility comes with the movement. The more movement you have, you will gain the flexibility. Why? Because the muscle around the joints, will be extended as you use more because of the metabolism. Yes, it takes longer time, but it actually would happen. You can look at all my yogas or videos explanation, because or else the video will be very long. So if you're interested, view them and check. Okay, so again, if you think of you can't do it, then you, as I said, no point to want and don't want to try, but it is actually even worse, because then you have a wrong perceptions of surfskating or skateboarding or surfing. If you want to go into this, think of how, and then your own style. It is not a competition. I mean, I don't think any of our age is going to compete. Okay, so my stories, I'm 47 years old. I started surfskating when I'm 45 years old, and fell a lot, and the recovery is very slow. Then I found that now you have to really think of a way to do it other than just do it and follow other people. No, when you age, you certainly think more. The think more part will actually helps a lot. Okay, and also it is one of the best things that happened to me in all the sports game, because it related to my snowboarding, it related to my surfing as well, and it improved so much of surfing and snowboarding that I'm currently doing. Enjoy yourself.